Welcome back to Empowered. I'm Elizabeth Namofsky. On today's episode, we're focusing on resilience and the life of Canadian icon Riki Turofsky. So, Riki, you were alone once more. Sadly, you stopped singing, and that breaks my heart because you were so good and your career was flourishing. And then all of a sudden, you stopped singing. Your heart was broken. Then you accidentally met your current husband now of 36 years. And he got involved in the arts in a different way than you got involved in the arts in a different way than as a performer. So I did cut you off a little bit before we went, but please tell us about that.
Well, the wonderful thing is that what helped, of course, heal a lot of the wounds that I was having was that I had a man who had three little boys who understood where I was coming from. And we had a great partnership and we have a great marriage, but we also believe very strongly in supporting not only the arts, but healthcare. And I think the arts, of course, need it. They need all the help that they can get. And that's given me a great deal of pleasure. Now, of course, I sing again just for my own delight with Neil, who is my foster parent's son-in-law. And we do this just to have a good time. And I love going to the arts. I love going to Stratford Festival and the Opera Company and everything. And I feel so strongly that we just have a great, great lot of talent right now in Canada. And I love supporting them.
So you've become a philanthropist. I know you love supporting them. You're a lover of the arts and so many other things. But I want you to describe why this is so meaningful to you, because there are a lot of people that don't give back. And I believe that it's extremely important to give back to community, give back to the arts, or whatever it is that brings out your passion.
Well, I think it is important for all of us to give whatever we can, whether it's to food banks, whether it's to an opera company, whether it's to a hospital. We just have to. If we're fortunate enough to live well, then I'm a great believer in sharing. And it gives me great pleasure to say, for example, support a show at Stratford Festival and know that so many other people are enjoying that too. It gives me great pleasure to know that people on the streets can go to a food bank and get something to eat. And so I'm blessed. I am blessed. And I feel that that blessing has provided me with so much that I can share.
You know, I have to say, here you are saying how blessed you are, and yet you lived a life of heartbreak. And I'm sure that your heart is still broken, and it's very difficult to go through a loss of a child. What words of wisdom do you have? We have about 2 minutes left. What words of wisdom do you have for someone who is a little bit broken, who's lost somebody, who is having a problem with letting go and feeling that they truly are blessed? How can we help somebody?
Well, the truth is you never do let them go. I mean, every day carries in my life, and particularly when I see my friends who have their daughters around them. So that's part of it. And it's good to grieve. It's important to grieve. And whether you grieve at the anniversary of their death or whatever, or at holiday time. But it's also good to take one day at a time, as they say, and just make the best of your life and never give up, and know there are people worse off than you are. There are people better off than you are too. But I think that's it. I think you just go along, wake up, get pleasure out of a beautiful rose, get pleasure out of a lovely garden, get pleasure out of whatever, whether the sun's shining or it's a wonderful rainy day and you can nap all afternoon. And I think, and maybe I'm lucky, maybe I was just born a Pollyanna, but that has helped me through problems. I still grieve. I will always grieve. But on the other hand, I will always laugh too.
And you know, that's what's so special about you. You always see the bright side of everything. If you have, the last 10 seconds, somebody who says, no, my life will never get to the positive side, what do you say to someone?
Well, I would say do things. I would say don't sleep in. I would say get up, look at the day, go for a walk, get an animal, get a pet. You can't get a dog, get a cat. Give love to something, support something, look beyond you. And my father used to always say, there's always somebody worse off than you are. and you can always do good. Go out and volunteer.
Thank you.
Do something.
Thank you so much, Riki. Thank you so much for your time today.
You're welcome.